I moved to town to be a songwriter. My goal was to write hits for people. I was not a very good student, but I excelled randomly in writing. And I always had a really good knack for it, whether it was like essay, you know, like short
Oh,
stories,
yeah,
whatever
yeah.
you had to write in school. And I just had a knack for it, and I was obsessed with it. Like knowing that I had the ability to create a story or make something up or say something in writing was always like really important to me for whatever reason. You know, and now I know why. Like that was just that was the gift that God gave me, I guess, was my interest in writing or whatever. And but so it was always writing. And then the record, like the artist thing, you know, people say doing the artist thing, that came around the time like Morgan's Up Down was a hit, like that, because that was my first number one as a writer, and it was his first number one as an artist. And he was at Big Loud, and I was writing other songs for other people at Big Loud, and that's when they kind of came to me and they were just like, if you know, do you want to do the artist thing? If your shit like pops off, like your life changes. You understand? I mean, like your life changes forever, and I just didn't know. Like I had an offer on the table, and I sat with it for months because I didn't know if I wanted to do it. I'd had some success as a writer, and I was like, man, you get to go write a fucking song and then go play golf every day or something. And I just got done reading The Alchemist, and that book, it talks about opportunities and omens and stuff like that a lot. And so I had that in my head because it kept kind of getting brought up of like, you know, like, are you going to sign this record deal and blah, blah, blah. And I finally just said, I'm going to do it because I didn't want to regret it later, you know, having turned it down or whatever.
I think it's awesome that you did choose that. I mean, you know, like Mississippi has a lot of great writers.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, over time, some of the greatest writers are from Mississippi. And yeah, Eudora Welty, I think she's from Mississippi, right?
Yeah, I think so. Dude, and then you've got Elvis.
Oh, yeah.
You got Robert Johnson, who arguably created rock and roll with the blues. Both my parents went to state. We're a Mississippi State family, but I moved to Nashville when I was 19. I went to one semester at a junior college called East Central Community College in Decatur, Mississippi. But no, I didn't go to state. I actually went to Middle Tennessee down here in Murfreesboro.
And you got your degree from there eventually?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Commercial songwriting.
Dang, really?
Yeah.
So you just went and took a class on it?
Yeah, I mean, it's like a poor man's Belmont. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like all the kids, the kids that didn't get into Belmont, which is like, you know, the big music. I mean, it literally sits at the end of Music Row down here. But yeah, I mean, and the songwriting class was like whatever. And I've said this before, and I feel kind of uncomfortable because I know there's people watching it probably that go to MTSU but like when I was there, it was like there was no filter, so it was like a bunch of people that just weren't very good, and so like it was like, okay, today we're going to learn about writing a verse, and there's got to be structure, and each line has to rhyme. It's just stuff that, you know, like most people knew, but there were a couple kids in there that like got it. You know what I mean? Like you had to play a song you wrote every week, and they'd critique it and talk about it and this and that and the other. Yeah, and there was some people in there were horrible, but there were some kids in there that were really good. But you could tell like that was what I took away was like the people that had it, but you can't like learn it. Like you can't, in my opinion, like I don't know if you could like say, man, I owe all of my songwriting success to the songwriting class at MTSU, because it's like songwriters, it's like any other form of writing. It's like everybody has that weird internal voice, and that's how they write and stuff. And I feel like people are just born with that.
Yeah, I think you can hone things.
Yeah.
And you can like fine tune them. You can whittle them.
Right.
You know, you could put a little bit of, you know, you could put something in a crust. You know, you could put icing on something.
Yeah.
But you got to have something.
You got to have the natural kind of thing, I think. But I learned a lot about the industry there, like record deals and publishing. I mean, I learned a ton about all that stuff, and like even recording and studio stuff. Like I got all of that stuff from MTSU.
Yeah, and then the first time you hear those things in business, it's not the first time you've ever heard them. You and Lainey wrote "Wait in the Truck."
No, so she did not. She did not write it.
Okay.
Yes.
So you write the song with other writers,
right?
Okay.
Yep. Just it's like going to work, and you just go in a room and throw out your ideas and sit around and write a song.
Now, say you walk in a room, right, and you see the other writers in there. Is there sometimes you're like, all right, I'm going to put a certain ideas, and sometimes I'm keeping some in?
Totally.
Ooh.
Yeah. Oh, dude, like if you have a like ballin' ass, badass idea, like I'll sit on that until I know I'm in a room, because if you throw it out, especially in Nashville, like LA, it can be a little greasier where like people will take back ideas, but you just don't do that really in Nashville. And it's not as dog eat dog. Let's just put it that way as it is in LA. But like, I'll wait until I'm with some of my buddies or people that will completely grasp a cool idea, so you know you're going to nail it. Because I've made the mistake of throwing out a really good title with some people that just couldn't latch onto it as well as maybe other people could, and you just kind of ruin the idea, and then you can't really write it again, or you're an asshole.
Right, because then other people are attached to it and that
right.
sort of thing.
And then you get then that's when like then if you did write it 10 years later, then you got to add these people because they were there when and they're like, well, I said that line and you used that in this song too. But yeah, there's definitely times. Like Wait in the Truck's a perfect example. So Hunter Phelps is like one of my best friends. And I wrote that with him and Jordan Schmidt, who's also one of my best friends. I'm pointing that way because Jordan lives right down the road.
Okay.
And Hunter and I kind of came up with that idea together, and we knew Jordan was a really incredible writer, and that was the time to bring that idea out and write it with somebody. Definitely.
That's wild, man. Yeah. That's cool. Yeah, it's interesting because I guess in the beginning you might go in and just put all your eggs out there, and the other two people, one of them shows up hungover, one of them, you know, is not could be.
They just found out they're pregnant.
Right.
So their day is fucking ruined.
Yeah, their day is wrecked.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you're like, damn, man, you just don't get it to fruition.
Yeah. And it breaks my heart when I have a great idea and you kind of ruin it. Because then you're just like, fuck, I just missed out on like $200,000 because I had a hit idea and I just ruined it on these people. Damn. It happens, dude. And you just kind of beat yourself up about it and like this and that. Some people even go home and completely rewrite the idea and make it better and be like, send it back to the people you wrote it with. And you're like, I like this. You guys can be on the song, but I completely rewrote the song or whatever.
Does that happen sometimes where somebody will write it, two other people were in the room and they get a part of the credit and that's that?
Yeah, the rule in Nashville is drop a word or say a word, take a third. You know, like it doesn't matter if you're having a bad day. And that there's like, it always evens itself out because like you go into a room with two other people and one of the guys sits over there and doesn't say a word. Oh, he's still on the song. He still has a third of the song.
Like freaking Boo Wordley over there.
Yeah,
or
right.
Boo Radley.
Yeah, like sitting over there like fucking.
Yeah,
just not saying a damn word, just staring at his phone or something. But then there's times where you might not be on your A game, and somebody else, two of the other guys or girls are killing it, and it's just like a Nashville rule. I know in LA, like they have lawyers, they have people like sitting in on rights, like paying attention to who said what, and then they like get in and they try to like negotiate who contributed the most, and that's like the percentage they get. That hasn't made it here yet. I hope it doesn't, man. This sounds stressful.
It ruins everything. LA will ruin anything. Please keep writing and making cool music, man. Hope you enjoyed that video, and you can watch another. And you can watch this one, you can watch this one. Different options, different choices. Some guy just brings you one option, not this guy. Two options. Watch one, this one or this one.